Hello and welcome to my post-submission of my PhD celebration vlog. So my thesis has been submitted. And since then I have been on my PhD moon, which is a term I coined for the holiday you take after submitting your PhD, and hopefully you will get to take one yourself, whether that is right afterwards like I did or sometime in the future as a celebration. But I had this planned for quite some time, and this was definitely a motivator to get things finished because the submission date for my thesis was a couple of days into my trip already. Yikes. So we started off this trip with a few days in Seoul in South Korea, and then we went to Tokyo in Japan, then we went to Kyoto in Japan, and finally we are here in Singapore. We are staying in a hotel which is a really fancy hotel. It's the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. And it's such a gorgeous hotel. I was in Singapore a few years ago, about 5 years ago, and I really kind of had this goal in my head of wanting to stay here someday. So it's really special to be here. And when we checked in, they asked if we were celebrating anything, and I told them that I was celebrating my thesis submission for my PhD, and they upgraded us to a really nice room. So we've just been having a really nice day, and we are actually heading home tomorrow. So tonight is our big celebration dinner for me for the thesis submission, and it marks the end of this really nice 16-day trip that me and Jack have had together. So I'm getting ready. As you can see, I'm going full glam with the curls, and as you might be able to see, I am very sunburned from the one day we spent by the pool, and I'm going to do my makeup and take you along with me. What?
I want to do that again, but I make a face.
vlog, guys. I know you missed him. This place is cool. Lots of places to eat. Because you want to know what's there. So I told them that we were celebrating submitting my thesis and we got an upgrade. We're staying in the Marina Bay Sands. Here is the children's room with little kids stuff, children's books, bunk beds, everything you might need, and a big TV for them. And then we have our first kind of kitchenette situation with our wine and our coffee. Then we have our living room with our dining area and a full kitchen with an oven and everything like that. And then we have this massive TV, a baby chair. And then this is our bedroom with a large bed and another massive TV. We have in here each got a wardrobe so we can hang up all of our stuff for while we're here. Lots of fun stuff in there. Oh, Jack, we've umbrellas. And then this is the bathroom with double mirrors. Hello. Looking brilliant. I can't believe they upgraded us and I'm wearing this, you know? Full on sink bath situation. Then we have a shower room so someone can have a bath, someone can have a shower, toilet, all of the stuff. It's just stunning.
Are his impressive tusks.
So apologies for the angles in this video, it's just necessary for this one, I think. You know, I'm not a makeup person, probably because you'll never really see me wearing much makeup on this channel, although it's kind of something I wish I did more of, like put more effort into myself from time to time. I'm starting off with this Charlotte Tilbury Invisible UV Flawless Primer, which I will begin my makeup with. And this will just allow the rest of my makeup to go on quite well. It works really well with the Charlotte Tilbury flawless foundation, but my skin is a different color to when I bought that foundation, so I'm using a different one at the moment, which is also a really nice foundation, although it is less coverage, so I might do a bit of a mix. I'm realizing something has exploded in my makeup bag, so it's going to be a challenge to show you things. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless, and then this is the foundation I'm using at the moment, which I don't know what happened in this bag, but this is the Sculpted by Amy Second Skin. Apologies, Amy, for how I'm presenting this, but she is an Irish makeup maker, and this foundation is really nice because it just goes on and feels really like you're not really wearing much makeup, so it's very natural looking, and it provides kind of like a medium coverage. So I don't know how people do this thing where they do their makeup and talk at the same time, because I'm already finding it difficult, but I wanted to talk about the last couple of months of my PhD life. I was really excited, really looking forward to the summertime, to writing up my thesis and just getting time to work on the last stage of the PhD, thinking I was just gonna have all this extra free time. But inevitably, as is always, it just doesn't work out that way. I was pretty busy with the drama school work that I do, with my lecturing work, and then with just personal stuff. I had a trip to Hawaii, which was amazing, and my mom got married. It was my sister's 30th birthday, and then different friends, you know, coming and going from Ireland. So it's just been like a busy time, and I definitely felt myself getting very stressed during, I'm just gonna move all this stuff over here, during the write-up period, because I was definitely worried at times that it wasn't gonna get finished, in a sense, like finished to a point that my supervisors were gonna be pleased with it. And that's, I guess, a bit of, would we say perfectionism? I don't know. I never really feel myself as a perfectionist, but I do tend to kind of like have quite harsh criticisms of myself and my work. So it would be more on that basis that I would be fearful. And I guess I was just worried that, you know, it wasn't gonna get approved by my supervisors, and they had recommended that I get an extension just for safety, but I knew I had this trip coming up. I know that September is a really busy time for me, so it was essentially, if it's not going to get done in this summertime, like it's going to be quite some time before it gets done. So I just kind of was keen to get it done, and that meant definitely a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, a lot of weekends where I was working on thesis work, other work, and I just thought in the summer I would have so much more time to not work, and that just didn't end up happening. So the 2 trips that I took have been a really nice way to do that, but I still have had to do work on these trips. Not so much when I was in Hawaii. I think I only did a small bit of emails and stuff like that in the mornings because I was waking up really early because of the time difference. On this trip, I definitely had to do some more work. Like I had some grading work to do. I had to do the final read of my thesis and then obviously submit it as well. So there's been a little bit more to do on this one for sure, and the only way it's been still feeling like that is that it's kind of maximum an hour to an hour and a half each day, and then it means the other 15 hours that we're awake in the day, or probably a lot less because we're sleeping a good bit, are for full relaxing and enjoying the trip. And at the end of the day, I think as the sole director of a business, the person who manages all of the finances and everything and all the staffing and everything like that, it's going to be pretty difficult for me to take full time off ever, it feels like, at this time in life. And I think that's just part of being in that kind of role. So yes, it's pretty surreal because I haven't been at home since finishing the thesis. The process had been, I'm gonna do more videos talking about this, but the process essentially had been that as I was writing different chapters of my thesis, I was sending those, or like a couple of chapters together, to my supervisors for reading, and I got a lot of feedback on those and then fixed up the changes. Before I went to Hawaii, I sent a full draft to my supervisors and then got additional feedback based on that. And then when I got back, I produced the final draft, which had like, they were just kind of doing proofreading on at that stage. And then I fixed up those changes, did a final proofread myself, and then submitted it. So it was just kind of like not knowing how much feedback to expect at different stages. So at these kind of like last couple of stages, I was starting to get concerned that, was there going to be a huge round of feedback that I just didn't have time to do? But thankfully, the last couple of things were just minor changes. But that was part of what was kind of stressing me out in the final stages. It was just not knowing like how far along I actually was, and if there was still a lot to do. God, all my brushes are ruined. Take you out. So I am just feeling like it's going to be really weird coming back to home in a couple of days, well technically tomorrow, well I suppose the next day by the time we actually arrive home, and just not having a thesis to work on anymore. That is going to be really strange, especially because I'm going to be working on a new schedule for a new term, which I'm excited about. That's going to hopefully provide a good bit more balance, because I'll be lecturing in the mornings, working on the drama school in the afternoons, and then working on personal care in the evenings. So I'm taking a couple of acting classes myself for enjoyment, for fun. I teach one evening class on a Wednesday, and other than that, my evenings are for me. Saturdays, I'm going to be still working in the drama school. And then Sundays are another day that I have for myself. And I'm excited about this new phase, but a little bit nervous as well, because I just don't really know how it's actually going to go. I've been, trying to get this kind of more balanced life for a while, and it just never really seems to work out. But it is different this time, having no PhD to work on. And there is, a time and a place for me to be thinking about what is next for my research work. At the moment, I'm definitely going to be taking a bit of a break as I settle into my new routine, and again, like focusing on the business a bit more, things changing there, which will require a lot more time that I need to put into it. But yeah, I think for the first couple of months anyways, I will be just preparing for my Viva. There's still some kind of work, a lot of research really, that could be done out of my thesis and building on it. And there is research to be done there. There's a postdoc that could be done there. And it's just about seeing what makes the most sense for me going forward, especially just given the other things that I have kind of going on. Full-time postdoc is definitely not feasible. And the more I think about it, I don't know if a part-time one is, where does that leave me then? Because I want to still do research, but will it be something that I just do in my own time? We are pretty much done with the makeup look. The last thing I'm going to do is just my lips, and then it is time to go. So, more content coming soon. Thank you all for being so patient, and thank you for all the messages that have been coming through since I've submitted. Really thank you all for the support. It's really surreal. It doesn't feel like I'm finished. I don't think I'm going to really feel it until I'm at home. A couple of weeks maybe it's going to take until I really feel this.